Nurse Bay, coming to a hospital near you. Is very, very, very important. If you don't listen to anything else in this video, make sure you pay attention to this first tip. Welcome. I make videos about nursing, beauty, and lifestyle. Today's video is nursing related. Finally, right? I've been struggling with us being on lockdown. I'm like, I don't know what to create. Like, I had so many things in mind, like a day in my life that lasted for one day, and I was like, okay, what else is there to do? But I decided today that I'll share with you how I got into nursing school. So if you're interested in watching, please stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe. So my first tip is very, very, very important. If you don't listen to anything else in this video, make sure you pay attention to this first tip. First tip I have for you guys is to do really, really, really well on your prerequisite courses. I can't stress this enough. This will get you in. I had some A's, some B's, and a couple of C's. Those courses that I had this season, I probably should have taken over, but I didn't. Don't be like me, definitely take them over because these courses will get you in. Definitely do your research, get a guidance counselor, make sure that you are mapping out, your courses that you need in order to get into nursing school. So each school has different requirements. My current program only requires micro, nutrition, A&P 1 and 2, and stat. Other programs may require different things. Like I was in a program prior to this current one and they asked for religion, psych, chemistry. So make sure you do your research. Also, when you're doing your research, make sure you look at the deadlines. Like, when is the application open? When does it close? Like, when do you need the prerequisites by? Things like that. Just stay on top of everything, map it out. So the next tip will be to do really well on your nursing school entrance exam. So that could be the T's or the Hiii. I took the T's for my school. I think I scored around 80 something, and I didn't study though. So again, don't be like me. Definitely study, use your online resources. I've seen people buy books. Be my guest, buy the book, but it sort of tests you for everything. It's like an SAT. It tests science, math, English, all of that. So, but if you don't do well in your first try, definitely give yourself enough time so that you can study and also meet the deadline for your application. The next tip would be to work on your personal statement. This is your why. This is like your about me. Make sure you work on that. Usually they're like 200 to 500 words. I always have one made for times like this. I'm like, my father tells me I'm a professional student. I've gone to so many schools in the past couple of years, so I always have a personal statement ready. I always just tweak it a little bit so that I can, match my current goals and future goals if it has changed. But I always have one handy. So make sure that you work on it and then have a friend look at it, your parents look at it. Just make sure that you're rereading and make sure that it's perfect. Another thing that you can do, which some of my classmates do have, is have a CNA. As a nursing student, you are required to have a basic life support certification. So we all had to get that, but a CNA is not required. And that's one thing that I wish I would have gotten, because then I probably would have had my foot in the door working in a hospital. But you don't need to get it. It's not mandatory. But if you do have one, that's a plus on your application. Another tip would be to have references handy. Some schools ask for letters of recommendations, so it's good to have at least 2 to 3 people in mind of who you would like to write you a letter of recommendation, whether it's a supervisor or professor. My last tip would be to apply to more than one school, but only apply to the ones that you meet the requirements, because application fees add up and we need to save these coins, sis. Like, we can't just be dishing out all this money. We can't. And you don't need a 4.0, but definitely don't apply if you have a 2.1. Don't do it. Aside from that, know what kind of program that you want to apply to, whether it's associates, bachelor's, part-time, accelerated. Do what works for you. For me, I still wanted to work full-time, and so I applied to a part-time evening weekend. I actually applied to about 4 schools. maybe 5. But I applied to all of those programs were all part-time evening weekends. The lengths vary. Some were 2 years, 3 years. Mine is 22 months. I'll be done in 17 months, 17 months, 17 months. I'm just counting out the days, the weeks, the sessions. I have 9 sessions left. I can't wait. Like, Nurse Bay, coming to a hospital near you. But definitely do what works for you, and I hope these tips were helpful. And if you have any questions or suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And thanks again for watching.